Hello, my name's Corey Miller. I am the writer and producer of King's Karaoke. I'm here to tell you today a little bit about what the movie's about and give you a little history on it. Well, not so much history, but just to let you know a little background on it. We've actually been sitting on the script for about a year now. We've been trying to think of ways we could raise money because we know that with this being a karaoke film, there's going to be a lot of music involved and a lot of rights that need to be gotten. So we kind of sat on it and waited. That's when I thought of going to the Indiegogo site and hoping that maybe we can raise some money that way. Most of the money, in fact a majority of it, is all going to go towards the rights for the music. The songs are going to vary depending on what we can get, but we have an idea of what we want to get. As far as, songs, R&B songs, there's going to be 80s hair metal songs, and just a different array of different things. And so that's where a large chunk of the money is going to be spent. So that's why we're asking that's why we're asking everybody out there to give what they can, whether it's $1 or $1,000. It all is appreciated and much needed. Also, what I wanted to do was to introduce some of the characters, because I hadn't put anything out there just yet, but I think now is the time to go ahead and do it. Now, one character we have is stuck in the 80s. He's in his probably mid-40s, and he is always wearing a jean jacket. If you remember back in the 80s, even some in the little bit the beginning of the 90s, what they at my school classified as hoods were always wearing jean jackets, and they always had patches and buttons of different heavy metal bands. And this is what this guy is. He's still left over from that. He's not wanting to give up his youth. Not to mention, in high school, he was in a band, and he hasn't given up that dream of being a famous lead singer for a heavy metal band. And he finds out that with karaoke, that's his way of living out that dream. So that all he sings is 80s hair bands. He won't sing anything else. So we dove a little bit into him and find out his home life. We find out, his job even too. So there's, with him and with all the other characters, you do find out more about these characters as opposed to just them singing on stage and eventually getting to the National Karaoke Championships. Another character we have is Rapping Cowboy. Now, this character is actually something that one of my other writers, co-writers, Matt, had come up with years ago, and when he would sing Snoop Dogg songs, but with a country accent. This character, he is late teens, just out of high school. Well, actually, I guess he has to be at least 21 to get into bars. But he's younger. He's probably, I think, maybe the youngest character out of all of them. He is from the country, but he acts like he's from the hood. So if that makes any sense. And he has a cousin that's always with him. So the two of them are kind of together, but the cousin doesn't actually do any of the singing. And he's kind of like his hype man. He will get up there on stage and he's his Flavor Flav to Rapping Cowboy's Chuck D. And again, you get a little backstory on him throughout the film too, and then where he ends up at the end of the movie is like all the other characters, you'll find out what happens afterwards. Max and Louise are a married character. They're a married couple, and they're very positive, and they're very church-going. Max is actually a funny character because he is a professional trainer. However, upon looking at him, you wouldn't know he's a professional. He's a trainer because he's scrawny. He's not well built, but because of his positive outlook on everything, he actually thinks he's doing good for other people, which he's not. And we see him at work in a couple of scenes. Anastasia, who is a little bit older than Rapping Cowboy. She's probably mid-20s, and she's going through a bit of a crisis because of her boyfriend. It was a boyfriend situation. So now she's kind of gone goth, and she's kind of, but we learn that that's not so much the way who she really is, and she goes through a bit of a transformation throughout the film, and we see the true her. One of the other characters we have is Erin. Erin is somebody who is an Elvis fanatic, and that's actually all that she sings. She works for free at a senior citizen center where her grandpa actually is, and so she performs there, but she's not really well taken to. Nobody really likes her there. So there's some funny moments between the senior citizens and her, but she ends up moving on somehow to the national championship or nationals, and the last one we had is Young Dong. He is an Asian American who is also going through a bit of a relationship crisis, and he's at the bar one day, and he's drowning his sorrows in alcohol when the bartender tells him he should try out for the karaoke and sing karaoke. And after some coaxing, he finally gets up there and sings some Lionel Richie, and the crowd loves him, and that's where he gets the bug and begins to try out and try and do something positive and try and turn something positive out of the negative that he had. So that's the rundown of all the characters. And if you're still watching, I thank you. And we seriously hope that you will have it in your heart to lend us a hand and try and make this movie possible, because in all honesty, I mean, this film is, as far as comedy goes, it's a cross between Drop Dead Gorgeous and Best in Show, and then throw in some Fairly Brothers humor. It's gonna be very funny, and we hope you have it in your hearts to lend us a hand. Thanks for watching.